Hello class, today I'm going to show you how to lay out your cartoons in Adobe InDesign. So how to bring assets into Adobe InDesign, frame them and add some word bubbles and such, and how to lay it all out proportionally. Okay, so I'm going to close this project, don't save it. Okay, I'm going to start a new one here, so I'm going to go to File and New Document. All right, so what I want to do here is I want to make sure that my orientation is set to a landscape portrait instead of portrait, a landscape orientation. I'm going to change my pica units to inches so I can see what I'm doing here. Yeah, so this is a basically 8.5 by 11 inch document. Okay, so hit create, and here we have a document set out and laid out as a landscape. So great. First thing I need to do is create some boxes for my assets, so that my assets I can frame them out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the rectangle tool. I'm going to draw out a box. Doesn't matter what size. Now I'm going to come up here to my actual size and adjust that here. I could do this by laying it out, but sometimes it's tough to do and get it precise. I'm going to make 3 by 3 inch boxes. I'm going to make sure that there's no fill there. I'm going to make sure that there's a stroke. I want to make that stroke a little bit bigger. That's basically the frame around the box. So I'm going to increase that size there. Okay. And then I'm going to also create a place for my text to reside, a little word bubble. Or a frame, I guess I should call it, a word frame. So I'm going to draw another box, and I'm going to make sure that it has a similar size here. Okay, so there we go. How does that look? How nice and tight is that? Looks like it's a little bit off. I can fix it. Make it precise. And now all I need to do is copy all of this. I can just kind of make sure I'm in my pointer tool and kind of draw over it all, and it activates all of those assets that are within or all those objects that are within that cursor frame, I guess you could say, the cursor square. So what I'm going to do is hit copy and paste, and now I got another one, right? Copy and paste, and I've got my third one here. So I want to lay it out on the page. I'm going to lay out some below it here, so I want to make sure I do it as proportionally as I can. Okay, so let's see if I can, keep trying. You don't do it the first time. I'm going to lay this one on this other border, and whoops. I'm going to lay this one on this other border. Whoops. There we go. Make sure I'm all lined up with my other documents here, or my other objects. There's my center point. Great. Alright, now I'm going to copy. I'm going to paste all through these. Now that they're all proportional, come in below and lay it out. Just right here. Great. I kind of want to make sure I find proportions everywhere, so I'm going to move it up to that bottom line. Okay, it looks pretty nice and even. Alright. Now at the top, I'm going to put my title of my comic. Alright, so I'm going to grab the text tool, and I drew a box, and I'm basically drawing a box where I want my text to go. So here we go, comic name. Okay, I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to go to a great comic font like Comic Sans. Comic Sans bold. I'm going to blow that up a little bit, so now that it's highlighted, I can come up here. I've got all my text tools engaged. I'm going to blow that up, and I've got my comic name. Okay. So the next thing that I need to do is bring in some assets, some of these assets that I've already created, and then organize them in these frames. All right. So this is where my assets are. I'm just going to highlight them here. I'm going to do that while holding Shift, so it'll activate it, bring them all in kind of at the same time. All right. So I've got 4 of them here, and I'm just gonna bring them right onto the document. Okay, and what this does is it allows me to it kind of loads the images in this cursor. So all I have to do is just kind of place them where I want to place them. I'm not going to be able to place them exactly where I want them right now. So just kind of grab my cursor tool, move the ones that are brand new kind of out of the way, and I'm going to work with this first one first. Okay. So a couple things to know about these layout tools. Adobe InDesign makes it really fast and easy to lay out assets. So that's the first thing you need to know. So when we're laying these out, if I'm going to move these at all, if I'm going to move these corners at all, look what happens here. Okay, it's a cropping tool. Okay, I'm going to Control Z it back. This is a cropping tool just off the bat. I can also, if I want to, I can resize it if I really want to. I can resize the whole thing. On an Apple, I'm going to use Command and Shift. You'll have to look up what to do on a PC, but I can do Command and Shift, and it's going to proportionally move all of this asset, rearrange it in a more proportional way. I'm going to try to get it down to about that box size there. Okay, bring it over to where the box is, and I can kind of crop in the rest. Okay, so there we have it. One thing that you'll notice is that I've kind of hidden some of my frame. So what I want to do here is I want to resize, or I want to go to this Arrange button, and I want to arrange this particular asset behind that frame. So I'm going to send to the back or send backward, either one. And now that frame is just going to pop out nice and even. Okay. And up top here, I've got a place to write. So I'm going to get my text tool, and I'm going to draw where I want that text to go. Blah, 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 blah. Awesome. Highlight it. Make sure that I'm in the font that I want. Right. There we go. All right. So if I need to resize it, again, I'm going to bring it down here. Place it where I want it. Hit Command and Shift at the same time. Kind of resize it into that box as best that I can. Okay. Work. All right. So let's say that our picture is not proportional. Let's say, we need to crop it a little bit. Well, we can do that. Okay, we can do that. I can just crop that image down if I really want to. All right, just like that. All right. And a couple things to remember. These frames can turn blue or they can turn brown. Okay, blue is your crop frame. Brown is your picture frame. I've got a touchpad, so it makes it really easy for me to click on this button to access that picture frame. And within that, I can arrange it. I could use Command and Shift again and do it proportionally if I want to. Okay, or that didn't do it proportionally. Or I can use this button here. I can use my touchpad and my 2 fingers and rearrange it that way. All right. So there's a couple different ways that you can rearrange this to make sure that it is proportional. There it goes. Okay, so it'll be nice and even when you use Command and Shift at the same time. Okay. So again, I've got a problem here. I need to arrange it so it's behind this picture frame. So I'll need to do that in just a second. First I want to, there we go. Okay. And if I double click on that picture, I'll get the crop frame back. I can even crop it in here pretty nicely into that frame. Okay, so now again I want to send it to the back. So arrange, send to back. There we go. I'm going to get my text tool, add my text for this particular box. If I want to keep everything just the same size, I can just copy and paste that text and just lay it out where I want to lay it out. Okay. manipulate it. How I want to manipulate it. Go grab another picture. Okay, I'm going to hold Command and Shift again on that blue frame. Resize it how I want to resize it. Okay, it's nice that these are laying out perfect for me. Okay, when it's not, I've got to do other things sometimes to get it to do what I want. Okay, I want to crop that, or if I want to expand this picture, right? I want to crop it. I can do that. Double click on it, get that blue frame. It's my crop frame. Make sure I'm within these bounds. And then I'm going to send it to the back, arrange, send it back, and that text frame around the outside is going to pop up. So now I got, a nice balanced, aligned presentation for my comic. All right. I'm just going to follow this procedure to make sure that I get all of the boxes that I need, add all my text that I need, make sure again that things are uniform and aligned, all that sort of thing. When I'm all done with this, I can save it. I can export this file, right? I can export it as a PDF. I can do a PNG if I want to, all right? So this is a good way to lay out your comic using Adobe InDesign. It'll give you some practice in laying this out. Hopefully this was an easy tutorial for you, and it gets you started with, again, laying things out in InDesign. All right. Well, good luck. Can't wait to see your comics.